Hey traders, how are you? Vladimir Ribakov here from Traders Academy Club. Happy weekend, happy Sunday, and welcome to the weekly markets outlook for the week starting of 16th of September till the 21st of September. September so far is a very good month. The volatility is back. Good period to trade. Good period to wait for setups and be there when they happen. So first of all, thank you very much for finding the time watching my video. I hope it helps you, and I hope it gives you some good ideas to follow and maybe to trade. This is an open video, of course, so feel free to share with anyone who you believe that can have a benefit by watching this video. Your feedback and your support back in my job would be very much appreciated. So if you enjoy the video, of course, then please hit the like button, drop some comment below the video, let me know what you think about the video, about the setups, and if there is any instrument that you want me to cover which I did not, let me know. On Monday I will publish the weekly outlook PDF version, and this would be shared in the same link in the description. So just come back on Monday, and on the description below you will get the link for the PDF. Also I will post it in the comments, or just follow up the email of my newsletter, because I will also be emailing that. So what we do is we go over the previous week outlook and we see how things developed, what works, what not, what is updated. Okay, so we make it like a quick follow-up, so you know what I'm doing, why and how, and not just bringing up every single time a new opportunity, so you have no idea what I was talking about before. Just want to have a clear flow. Some of the things developed perfectly, some not, and some became irrelevant. So that's the idea now, to update it according to this week. So let's begin. The euro dollar was our first plan. That's what we wanted to see, drop, and from this area to get the buy. So that's pretty much what we wanted to see on the euro dollar, and that is exactly how it worked this week. We got the two waves and we got the rally. The biggest question was the euro dollar now. So what's from here? And here comes the thing. The last divergence on the weekly was and remains bullish. It is right here. Meaning the daily has to be a corrective cycle. Corrective cycle could be two waves or a range. The way it looks right now, it looks like a possible two waves with a double top with a bearish divergence. Definitely a possibility for some kind of a sell-off. But here comes the but. Due to the first development of the cycle, that was the weekly pressure, right? Daily might go into some deeper correction. Well, that's a long cycle down. The daily could easily make something like that. So on the short term, the euro dollar is stuck inside the 4-hour chart range. Basically, we have kind of a structure here, so it can easily go and play inside for a while. But basically, the way it looks right now, I still think that the euro dollar, with every drop of it, should kind of make something like that, or maybe some deeper correction. It just feels, at least as for now, it just feels like a bit of too early for a drop down. It definitely might make it to confuse the traders, all the buyers, like, oh, what's going on now? But the way it looks, from my point of view, it's still bullish, and drops I will be looking to buy. The best combination to do that would be once we get a bullish divergence on 2 time frames or corrective cycle. So corrective cycle could be two waves, 1, 2 with bullish divergence and look for buys, exactly like we've had here this week, same story. Or it could simply be a hold of the bottom of the range, so something like that, and a buy. And of course, if the week begins with holding of the trend line, right, and a bounce, then it simply can be continuation. Now I would be looking still to buy dips of the euro dollar with bullish sign. I wouldn't rush into that. Definitely would be looking for some kind of confirmation. But the way that the weekly structure looks like, I wouldn't bet on sells just yet. This daily candle pattern looks like a kind of a perfect trap to bring in a lot of sell money before the rally. Of course, I might be wrong. I would say that the euro for me still remains buy, and I would be looking for dips and buy with the euro versus the dollar. I might be wrong here, as the scenario is not too clear. Next pair on the list was the euro versus the pound. We wanted to see that breaking the last low, breaking the trend line, and going down, unless it breaks the two waves pattern. So let's take a look on the euro versus the pound. So far, this is our low, and it was broken to that downside. So the perfect scenario would be, of course, if we can get now below the trend line. If that happens, it's a perfect call for sell continuation. The 4-hour chart is developing triple cycle. 1, 2, 3. It looks simply beautiful from my point of view. And once this would be a bullish divergence, probably below this area, we should get some kind of retrace, some pullbacks, and look for sells. So for me, it's a low, a rally, and basically sell the rallies. That's my view for the euro pound. Next one on the list was the euro versus the Canadian. That was our plan, to get to another rally, short rally, and one more wave down. Let's take a look on the euro versus the CAD. It happened exactly like that, one and second move down. The next thing we wanted to see was the break of the two waves trend line, which it tries to make here during Friday, when it turns to be a false breakout. How do we know if it's a false breakout? When we see a candle closing above the trend line and immediately turns down inside. This is a warning sign. And the EURCAD, well, which still from my point of view remains bullish, on the short view will most likely try to expand it a bit lower. I still want to see it's clearing here. Once this becomes as a bullish divergence, this would be a great time to start looking for buy continuation. So basically we want to turn that into a bullish divergence and go with the further buy continuation, with likely to see something like that before the future sells. The warning sign for that would be if we take this rally, and if this leg goes down below 61.8 and the divergence is gone, like making lower lows, right? So we cross through the 61.8 and the divergence is gone, no divergence developed. Put a big X on that scenario, because then the pair simply returns to be long-term bearish without any short-term buy retraces expectations. And if that happens, we are going to look for future sells, further sells. Okay, so keep in mind of that scenario. Invalidation, our invalidation would be, as I said, if we go through the 61.8 one leg without any divergence developing. Next one on the list is the New Zealandian Canadian, and we wanted to see that making the low, and here we are. This is, let me just open it. This is the New Zealandian Canadian. We expected to see, let's go back here. We were at this place. Sorry. And Dante, you would now smile at my sniffing, right? I'm looking forward to see your reaction. It was one sniff so far. So here we are at the New Zealandian Canadian, creating the low. basically. So now the question is what's next, and the way I see the New Zealand Canadian, it is on a very critical zone, and I think this is a perfect, simply perfect place to start looking for the buy setups. We have the 100 of the big view, we have the 161.8 very close of the current view, and we have the 61.8 of the last year. This is our place to look for reversal. Daily starts to form the divergence. 4 hour ideally is going to make some kind of divergence here as well. That should be, once we get the low, with a bullish divergence on 3 time frames. Why do I say 2 and say 3? When 3 time frames, daily 4 hour and 1 hour, or weekly daily and 4 hour. Once we get this combo, look for the buys. I think new lows in that case would provide the opportunity for a reversal. Let's take a look on the crystal ball, and you would figure out that we are coming to very critical days, 17, 21. When it will fit in the cycle, it would be simply beautiful opportunity for the buys. So attention on the New Zealand Canadian. Okay, so next one. Where is that? Here. By the way, do you watch now the boxing match? It should be good. Golovkin and Canelo. That's should be really good fight. So I'm looking forward to it. So that's the plan for the New Zealand CAD. That's how we wanted to say that. Break of the trend line. Here we are, right? That was the plan. Break, retest, and continuation. So we got it. We got it happens, and now we are looking for the reversal plan. Now, Aussie Kiwi, we were looking to play inside the range and get a breakout, or downside or upside. At that time being, a week after, we are still stuck in the range. We don't see any higher highs, right? We don't see any lower lows. Currently not clear with this pair, and I would say skip it at this stage unless you want to trade short term inside the range. Skip that. For me, it's both scenarios very possible from here. There is nothing clear to trade here, no direction. So my point of view, this pair becomes neutral. Next on the list, pound versus the franc. We wanted to see the trendline breakout and the rally of the 4-hour chart. We got the breakout. We got the rally. As long as this low holds, this is the invalidation, look for buys. So that could be with holding this area and fly. That could be simply trying to make it lower back to this trend line and fly. But we are after the buys here. Start looking for bullish setups. As long as this invalidation area hold, I believe we are going to the upside. For this pair, Aussie versus the franc, the plan was and remains bearish. I would say as simple as that. There is, let's go back to the daily. The daily does not have any clear divergence valid, so I think we are going down, and that could be from here or slightly higher. Aussie franc, sell the rallies. You see, it's pretty much simple. It's a follow-up. Oops, sorry. It's a follow-up here, plans don't, well, how to explain it correctly? Plans don't change so fast. Traders tend to think that the more they watch, the more opportunities they will find. That's totally wrong understanding, because when your plan is from the beginning of the week further, during the week, it's rare to see the things changing frequently. Maybe some validation or invalidation would be reached and triggered, and that's all. It doesn't happen too frequent. It doesn't happen too often. It doesn't happen. So if you open your day and nothing is there, nothing would be there in 15 minutes and 1 hour chart and 2 hours after 2 hours, right? Nothing would be on this chart. So traders tend to think, okay, nothing is there. I will sit in front of the computer and I will find the setup. Nothing will happen. You know, this reminds me a great situation of when you're sitting and you're watching your TV, for example, and you become hungry, right? You want some kind of food. You go to your refrigerator, you open it, you are looking inside, nothing is there. You go back to your sofa, you are sitting and watching the TV, and after 10 minutes you stand up again, you go back to the refrigerator, open it, expecting a different result, right? Maybe I missed something in the refrigerator. You close it again, figure out there is nothing to eat, go back to the sofa, 5 minutes, you go back to the refrigerator looking for some kind of solution. Maybe I missed something. Same traders tend to do with the trading idea. The more we spend in front of the computers, the more opportunities we'll find. It's completely wrong. If there is nothing happening now, there will be nothing in 1 hour, 2 hours, or even 1 day. If it is happening, you better be around and stay updated, well, to what's happening with your pair or pairs you want to trade. But if there is no setup or no change, that's the direction you trade. Next one, Pound New Zealandian. Our plan is buys, and I think that we are still in the same. No opposite divergence on the daily, nothing triggered on the weekly, no false breaks in the play on the 4-hour chart. So the plan is buys, and that could be a straight continuation. That could be easily after some kind of pullback, or simply 1, 2 buys. The bottom line here, look for bullish setups on the Pound New Zealandian. I expect it to go higher. New Zealandian dollar, we were expecting a bearish continuation. Let's take a look on the New Zealandian dollar. We got the bearish continuation right here. Then we are facing the first false break. And the way it looks right now, I would think it's pretty easy. We can face some kind of a corrective cycle. So that could be something like a bullish hidden divergence with 2 waves correction, 1, 2. That could easily hold us inside a ranging pattern here. And it can easily try to make one more false break before the rally. The way I think to deal with the New Zealandian right now is drops with bullish signs, look for buys. On the short term, not on the long term. We are facing 2 false break on the 4-hour, 1 false break on a daily. This is the 4-hour. That's the convergence principle here in play. From my point of view, dips and buys. I would be looking for buys only. Pound versus the Canadian. The idea remains bullish. That was our plan, to look for buys. Pound CAD. Let's do it this way. Pound CAD. Here we are. So we got the first drop. We got the rally. The way it looks, you can easily make any kind of 2 waves with bullish divergence. That's not how bullish divergence looks like. Here, bullish divergence and continuation further. The way the pair behaves, I would be looking at that as invalidation, and here further continuation up to this area. That's approximately around the 1673, 174. Next one on the list, Euro versus the Aussie. The plan was and remains buy dips. Euro Aussie. We got a dip, first dip, right? We might get one more, but it doesn't change nothing of the plan. We are bullish. Retraces and buys. I expect this pair to go higher, and that can be easily straight from here or some deeper continuation with bullish hidden divergence, with that making lower low and bullish run towards, I believe the pair has a room towards 166, 167 or higher. CAD versus the franc, I was looking for a possible short-term sell or basically go with triple wave up, 2 waves down and breakout. And this is the CAD front. Let's take a look how it develops. So short term sell we never got. It was one straight move to the upside. I was looking for this kind of scenario for a sell. Never happened. So never really got any sell here. Now it's building up some kind of triple cycle. If we get to waves and breakout, that could be the bullish sign we were expecting. Honestly, I see nothing too clear with this pair right now. I would personally not be surprised if we get one more low here with bullish divergence before the fly. For me, the pair at this time being is totally neutral. I don't see any clear picture here, so I would simply skip it. Next, let's go skip here for Forex, and then we come back. Dollar Canadian. Now this pair didn't work out completely as wanted. The plan was to look for two waves here and get some buy. Instead of that, the pair went in one leg, straight move through all the Fibonacci retraces. I don't love to deal with such cases. Dollar CAD, from my point of view, is totally neutral right now. It makes a false break on the bottom, false break on the top. It can easily continue to be like a little range here before a possible shorter move down back to the bottom of the channel and the rally. So dollar CAD, the way I see that, is neutral, and maybe even at least for the short term sell rallies. There are rumors about new negotiations plan between the US and Canada about the trade war and the trade plan between the countries. There is a good chance the CAD is going to be a bit stronger for a while. The pair is tricky. I don't love that too much. From my point of view, untradeable. Or better to wait for clear setups. That's my view. Euro versus the New Zealandian. The plan is buy retraces. So this is the Euro versus the New Zealandian. We got the retrace. If we get a second one, 1, 2, we are after the buys. The alternative is some kind of range and buys. The plan is look for retraces and buys. Bullish, okay? Buy dips, drops, boost bullish signs. We have a buy. Okay, so we return here now. Before I go to the commodities, I was asked a lot about the yen pairs. Now, the typical ones like Euro yen, Aussie yen are not clear to me. Pound yen, I suspect that this pair is running into triple double scenario. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. This should be the end for the rally before we start making the formation to the downside. So one more, if we get one more rally, we should be looking for sells. That's the way I think for the pound yen. Dollar yen, which lost a cycle. There is no cycle inside, and I was neutral the previous week. Now breaking this structure and building here the second leg. So this is the place to pay attention to. The first cycle was triple, then double, and now building up kind of triple cycle by itself. So dollar yen, I would be paying attention on the shorter term on these levels here for possible turnarounds, or slightly higher around the level of 113, 114 for the sell. So if this area is broken, we are going higher. If this area is holding, we are going look for sells. That's pretty much for the yen. Now the interesting part here is the statistics. We are now approaching to the time period where it becomes critical. After 15, 20, 21, very critical days. So watch that out for possible sells for this pair. And one pair that really looks like a pair that I normally don't trade is the Swiss yen. From my point of view, the pair has all the technical reasons to move forward and further. I think the pair is heading towards 118. So here drops and buys on the Swiss yen from my point of view. Okay, and now to the commodities. Gold, our plan was sell the rallies. The invalidation is the last high. This is still the plan, and the last high still holds. So my view basically remains the same. Nothing changed in my personal view. I think we are going lower. This remains in invalidation. If it breaks that, I would become neutral, waiting for some clearer picture. Meanwhile, I am bearish. I expect new low. Same with the silver, which I would not be surprised if going lower to below 14 before it turns around. So bearish yet. That could be 13.85. That could be even below 13. So for the silver, still bearish. Sugar. Broke the daily high as we expected. Okay, so that was the plan here, to break this place. Now we are looking for pullbacks and buys. So far, exactly what happens. This is the invalidation, and drops are for buys. So far, so good. DAX, our plan is now short-term retraces before the sales taking place. And so far, DAX here. So far, we are getting this retrace, and I think that this is the area where it should become critical and start moving into further sell continuation. I will be looking to sell the rallies. The best would be, of course, to get 2 waves on the 4-hour chart and move into sells. NASDAQ, we were looking for a daily lower low to be created. Unfortunately, we're still far away from that. That's the place. So we want to break that, and then we start to sell the rally. We are not there yet, so not trading that at this stage. And a few of the cryptos. Let's start with the MONERO, which our plan was to buy the dips, and that exactly what we happened. Bullish divergence and a rally. So our plan here worked simply perfectly. And right now I really have no clear plan here. And the Ethereum versus the Bitcoin, we wanted to see a lower low. And here we are. We got that. We got a false break that we were talking about. Now it's creating the highs. So from my point of view, we are after buy the retraces. Invalidation plan for that is the last low. So this is how I think it's going to be developed. And that's all. Yep, that's all. So this is our trading week. Previous week was very nice, as you saw. I hope this week would be interesting in terms of trading as well for us. I invite you to, if you are not yet a Traders Academy Club member, I invite you to join us. The link to join us in the live trading room and to enjoy our trading setups on daily basis with the trading reports. Below the video, in the description, you have the link to join the club. So I hope to see you inside and help you further. Thank you very much for watching this video. By the way, before I forget, I've been asked a lot about the pound crosses, pound Aussie and pound versus the Kiwi. So I'll just make it simple. For both, I remain bullish, which means looking for buy setups for pound Kiwi and also for pound Aussie. Pound Kiwi I covered, pound Aussie I didn't. So I think this pair is going higher from here or slightly lower, looking for bullish setup. I promise to cover that, and they are clearer than the rest for me. So that's all. Alright, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget please to hit the like button, leave your feedback. It's important to me to get your support, to know if I help you, what can I improve, if I can improve. So your feedback is very, very valuable. Thank you for your time once again. I wish you a wonderful trading week to come and enjoy the boxing match tonight. Take care guys. Yours, Vladimir Ribakov, Traders Academy Club.